All right, looks like we're pretty much all set. Let's go. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Pierre, your host. I hope you're all doing okay. It's Friday. I guess you should be feeling great knowing that it's the weekend. So my friends, let's start off our day real quickly because I have quite a bit of work to do. Let's go over to the computer. Let's quickly check out what we did yesterday, and then we'll start our day from there. So what did we do yesterday? We started off by making these little clouds. There we go. And then after that, we put the background mostly on everything that we did yesterday was white paint. We did our heart. And then we did the leaves that are on our foreground. So that's basically what we did all through the day yesterday. Today we are going to continue, but we are going to put some color on all these plants. So whatever is white here, we're going to start off by putting the first coat of azo yellow. Then we're going to do some first coats of our heart. And then we'll see how dry this is. We can start working on the frame if we have to kill some time. This is going to take at least 2 coats, minimum 2 coats, maybe even 3 coats, who knows. Azo yellow is one of the colors that really covers the least, but it's one of my favorite yellows. It's a beautiful yellow. I use it quite a bit, and here I am actually at the end of my jar of yellow. So let me just get a palette. Here's a nice one, nice clean one right there. So let me get as much of this yellow as I can out of the jar. There we go. There's a lot right there. There we go. So I'm going to dilute that with a little bit of water, but not too much. See if we can keep it as thick as possible. Also keeping in mind that we would love to have that first coat dry today so that we could put a second coat before we split for the weekend. Like that on Monday, all we would have to do is the highlights to the leaves and finish them off. And then just concentrate on the frame so that we can finish this painting by Tuesday or Wednesday at the latest, probably Wednesday. Because always when you get to the end, you have a feeling you're almost finished, and then there's 1,000 of little things that you have to correct just to bring the canvas into perfection, or something similar to perfection if that exists. So anyways, so let me grab a little bit of water here and just blend it with my yellow, because this is way too thick. And it is kind of chilly already. Outdoors yesterday was the first day where I wear long sleeve, long pants outdoors rather than t-shirt and shorts. So the temperature, and even though it is mid-October, has just dropped in the last couple of days. So, and I can feel the dampness and the cold already in the studio. So, all that to say that I am not going to put my fan on like I did all summer for the paint to dry faster. No way I'm going to do that. I'll end up catching a cold. So this is still very thick. And even though I said I was going to put it on nice and thick, I think that's a little bit too thick. Let's not exaggerate. Like I said, I would like to put that second coat of yellow on today just before leaving. Okay, so what does this look like? I'm going to do the first leaf and then I'll take it, see if that works out pretty good or not. Let's bring camera number 1 over. And maybe I'll tie my hair back because I washed it today and I can feel it's all over the place. So let's just concentrate on these leaves right here. I'm just going to move the camera off to the side. I know it looks a little weird, distorts everything, but at least I won't be in front of the lens. There, I'll just zoom in a little more. Something like that. Pull over my chair up here. And so let's see what this does. I have a feeling the paint is a little thick though, but let's try it. Let's try it. So let's go to camera number 1 and let's get to work. So it is thick. I am putting it on pretty thick. And no matter how thick it is, I can see right through the white, the brush strokes of the white paint on the background. But who cares? Let's continue. I think this is going to be, it will be dry enough in about 45 to an hour. So let's just continue. So there we go. I'll just bring the camera down and we'll continue. Maybe pull it back just like that a little bit. This is going to go by quickly. There we go. Camera's down. There we go. This is a beautiful yellow, don't you think? Very nice. go. Okay, so let's continue. I think I'm just going to zoom in a little bit like that. I'll have a new something to work with when I edit the movie afterwards. There we go. All right, so baby up. Okay, did have to turn around and make sure that everything was okay on the computer, on my streaming. Sometimes I forget to switch cameras or whatnot. Even turn on the microphone. That's happened to me in the past as well. Not lately, I must say. I'm getting pretty good at avoiding these stupid little technical mistakes. But it's a good thing to double check once in a while as well. Never take anything for granted. Go. So, just going to move the camera over a little bit like that as well. Pull it back just a little bit. Just like that. How's that look? I don't know. Let me get back down on my chair. I'll bring the camera down a little bit. There we go. I'm just going to add a drop of water to the paint and blend it in, let's say. Give it a little twist and turn, little push and twirl. There we go. And let me just bring the camera up. I have a horrible tendency of forgetting to do that once in a while. There we go. Okay, like that. So you know what? I'm going to go back and I'm going to start back up here. I'm going to go up here and work my way down because I am left-handed. I mean, what am I talking about? I'm right-handed, and I'm going to start on the left-hand side and work my way down like that. I don't have to worry about putting my hands in the paint. So I'm going to do that just like that. There we go. It's on pretty thick. I'm going to leave it that way. And as I'm off camera, typical, there we go. There we go, like that. So let's bring this baby down here. Should I zoom in maybe a little bit? Zoom in on these guys like that, maybe? Why not? Up. There we go, getting very close to the end of these leaves. All we have is these last three. Here, let me pull it back. There we go. These are the last three that we have. And then we can move on and put some colors on our heart, at least the first coat. And then to allow all this stuff to dry so we can put the second coat on, we will move on and then work on the frame. And that's going to be white dots. And a lot of dots. Okay, here we are. Very cool. Okay, very good. So, let me pull this camera back. Let's see what things look like from afar. All right. All right, that looks pretty good. Of course, this is just the background yellow. There's going to be some ochre yellow on top of that. It's going to look quite a bit different. But anyways, so, you know what? Not being sure if we're going to be able to put the second coat on, I'm going to put the excess yellow paint back in the jar. And if we do have to put a second coat on today, which I hope we will, I'll just grab it and bring it out like that in case we don't need it. It won't go to waste. There we go. So, got that. Now, to do the heart, I'm going to do it in 3 layers. Let me zoom in up here. Let me zoom into this heart as I explain how we're going to tackle this guy here. All right? So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to put the orange up here, the red right there. Whoops, get that out of the way. Then I'm going to put the gold ring. Then I'll come back and do the lower orange and the lower red. All that to make sure that I don't screw up. So I'll show you again since I forgot to move the camera. I'm going to start with the orange here, the red here, the gold ring, then the orange and the red on the bottom. That is how I'm going to do it. There we go. So I'm going to get all 3 of these colors ready to go. So what am I looking for? The orange. We're not going to need much, as you can see. What do we have? Maybe 2 square inches to paint of each color. Not very much. So 2 square inches. I definitely do not need much paint. Let me just kind of clean off this palette. There we go. Okay, grab my knife. This should be plenty, if not more than plenty. There we go. Where is I am? I'm already losing the cap. There we go. So, let me get my red unscrewed here. Growl. Boy, that is sealed tight. But anyway, so again, just need a little bit of red. That should do it. There we go. And then we have the gold. There we go. So I am going to just grab a brush, a medium-sized brush. I'm just going to mix the water with the paint to get it to be so it flows on the canvas the way it should. Get the paint ready. And like that, it'll go really quickly afterwards since there is just like 2 square inches to paint. And this again is going to be just like with the leaves. There's going to have to be 2 coats because the orange is kind of like the yellow. You can see right through it. You can see every brush stroke. Even though when it's smaller, I must admit it's kind of easier. You don't see as much the brush strokes as larger, wider surfaces. So maybe we'll be lucky and won't even need a second coat now that I think about it, now that I'm saying this out loud. So again, I'm going to make this paint kind of thick. I mean, not so, yeah, I'm going to leave it kind of thick so it's nice and opaque. And hopefully won't have to put that second coat. So that's it for the orange. I'm going to do the same for the red. Just kind of mix it with the water here. I'm not sure I even put enough red here. It seems to have completely disappeared as I added the water to it. But okay, let's try it. Hopefully we'll have enough. Let me just get rid of the excess red that's on my brush. That will add to the quantity that we have on our palette. Okay, orange, red. Now we need the gold. And here's a palette with already some gold on it, so I'll just reuse that. And just with the rest, I'm going to add a little bit of gold. And this also, I'm going to just put a little bit of water, not too much, because I know how the gold, even if I used it straight out of the tube, you can almost see right through it. It's not very opaque at all. So I'm not going to put too much water. At first, I'm going to check how liquid. That looks awfully thick there. So I am going to add just one drop. Just one drop. And work that in the gold paint. There we go. Now it's thick, but it's flowing the way it should. Has a nice texture to it. There, that's perfect. Okay, so as I mentioned, I'm going to just be bouncing back and forth. I'm going to start with the orange. Okay, let me get my stool out of here. There we go. Zoom in a little more with camera number 1. And I'm going to see what it looks like if I shut off the lights. Get rid of the glare that is on the canvas. There we go. So let's go ahead. So I'm not going to switch back and forth every time I switch brushes. I'm going to reuse the same brush for all 3 colors. So I'll just stop and rinse it off and switch colors. So let's start with the orange. Wow, and when I said 2 square inches, I guess I was even exaggerating. Probably going to be just like one square inch. So there it is for the orange. And there it is for the red. Look at that. Ain't that beautiful? And now I'll just switch over. Rinse off the same brush. Grab the gold. And carefully now, try to get the gold I don't really have to touch the edge of the orange because there will be a black outline on this. Overdid it right there. See if I can't clean this up a little bit. There we go. Okay. There's the gold. Now, let's go back to our orange and red. Just like that. Very good. So, we got that done. Let that dry as well. I'm not sure if all that is going to be dry for us today. But anyways, let's hope yes. And I'm just going to leave the camera back here a little bit and aim to that upper left-hand corner because that's where we're going to be working next. Get the camera ready. There we go. And now we're going to work on our frame. Try to get our frame together. So, first of all, I have to get the right paintbrush. I'm just going to be doing a lot of little dots, thousands of little dots. So it's going to be a while, but when it's finished, it's going to look really nice. And it's going to give time for the rest of the paint to dry. I just have to find the right paintbrush. I'm afraid this one here, I'm going to lose control over it. Might be a little too big. Maybe this one here with a little smaller. We'll see in a few seconds. What I'm going to do first, though, is get the white paint ready. So let me just get the palette. What the dropping shit all over the place. There we go. Put that over there. Get the white paint together. I guess I can use the cap as a palette. Why not? And here the same. I'm going to have to mix some water with it to get it to be the right consistency. It's a little thick right there. So I'll start with that. If I have to make more, I will make more. No problem. Go. Hearing my neighbor, Francois Nazika, talking to himself as he's painting away. So let me find a larger brush again, just to mix in the water. I'll use this brush right here. Again, we want to get a nice creamy texture and kind of keep the opacity to the white, of course, because there's no way we're going to put 2 coats of dots, right? So we want to make sure the dots stay nice and opaque once it's on the canvas. Up, add another big drop of water, squish all this paint. It's almost right. It needs just, let me see, does it need a little bit? Maybe not. It looks nice and creamy. So maybe I'll leave it like that. Maybe I'll get my hair out of the way. There we go. There we go. So, what did we say? We said we use this brush. I'm not sure this is the right brush I want to use. Let me see if I can't find. I thought I had one that I used to use regularly. And then I had one of my favorite ones I remember broke not that long ago and bought a bunch of brand new ones to take its place. But I don't remember which one I used for what. Which one I used to do my little dots. Let me check out all these guys right here. I bet you this is one I'm going to use now. I want one where the hairs are kind of firm. The others are all kind of long, and I'm afraid, like, as I get tired, I'll push harder on it and they'll make dots that will look like little rectangles or whatever. They'll lose their shape and get bigger. So I want to avoid that. So let me just wet this brush a few seconds. Let it soak. And I am just going to go, I'm going to go back here in my kitchen area. Go back here in my kitchen area where I have some water and grab a bottle of water because I am dehydrated. There we go. Yes, much better, much better. Okay, so let me put camera number 1 back on that upper left-hand corner. Kind of move it to the side so I'm not in front of the lens. But if I zoom in, it should work out okay. Let me zoom in a little more. Hopefully right there, I won't be in front of the lens. I guess I have to pull my huge can of paint here and use as a stool. And let's get to work. I'm not sure I'm going to do all of this today. I might just start and stop once I see that the yellow paint is dry. And it is drying, I must say. You know what? I'm going to bring my fan over. And I'm going to put it on low. I'm going to turn it away from where I'll be painting. And hopefully I won't catch a cold, and hopefully it will dry our paint so I can put that second coat before leaving. So this looks pretty good right here. I don't feel the fan in my back. So let me just switch over to camera number 1 and let's start doing our little dots. Like that. So, you see, I wasn't kidding when I said we had thousands of dots to do today. Shit, am I putting? I have paint all over my hands. Just wipe them clean. There we go. All right. Once I get warmed up, it goes rather quickly because I just kind of get into a sort of meditative mood where I forget about everything except for what I'm doing, and it goes pretty quickly. After a few minutes, just kind of getting in the groove, warming up. So let me do this here without putting my hand in our heart. There we go. And down this way. There we go. Very good. Just continue a little bit up here before moving the camera over. There. Zoom in a little more. Paint can over a little bit. There we go. So we'll keep doing this. You know what? I'm going to play some music while I'm doing this. Oh, whoever said painting was monotonous, they were right. Certain things when you paint are pretty monotonous, and this is one of them. Back up to this left-hand side that we stopped. We're right about here. Go. Since I have my nose right on under the heart there, I can tell that it's drying and will not need a second coat. So that's pretty awesome. It's going to be some time saving. Now I think I can get off the stool and put this away. Very good. And let's keep making our dots. It looks a little weird because, as you can see, the canvas is not stapled to the wall. So can't put a staple every 3 inches either, so. So these are my friends playing the music. You have Jacek on the guitar, Lucien on the drum, Diego on the violin. So let me just step back for a few seconds and see where we're at. We've got about half of the painting done with dots. And the fan has done its job. I'm going to shut it off so I don't freeze to death. And our yellow paint is dry. Let's just come back to this side here. I'm just going to go down a little bit further, and then I'm going to stop halfway with the dots, and we'll go back to putting the second coat of yellow paint. Like that, we have that done for the weekend. Everywhere is just about dry. Well, that's pretty good. So I'm going to grab the yellow paint again and get that ready for their second coat. Again, I'm going to mix a little bit of water with it just to get it to be the right consistency. That looks pretty good. Side of the painting. Oh boy. This is on really thick, but it has all weekend to dry, so. This baby over a little bit. Oops, getting a little sloppy here. Let me wipe that off here. one more flower, one more leaf to go. And then we'll have done 2 coats of all this beautiful foliage. There we go, that's on thick, but it's got all weekend to dry. Need this in a few minutes because I'm going to go back to doing my dots. Really don't have that much paint here to put back in the jar, but I will. So. So, I am going to come back here and stop the music for a few minutes. There we go. And I keep forgetting that when I start my music, I usually have little pop-up windows that pop up without me asking for them. So this yellow is going to be toned down once it has the beige ochre yellow painted in it to give it some special depth and some effects. And then there might be, I'm not sure yet, maybe a black outline as well, but that I will decide when time comes to do it. So let me just step back one more second here, take a look where we're at. Look what it looks like on the webcam, I mean on my computer. Looks okay, looks okay. I might add a leaf here or here or here maybe on Monday. We'll see. We'll see when we get towards the end of our painting. And right now, well, we're back to doing dots, I guess. And then we'll be calling it quits for the weekend and time to start partying. So how am I doing on my white paint? Not too bad. Maybe I'll just give it a little workout here. Little drop of water. So I turned off my overhead lights when I was doing the heart, and I didn't turn them back on as an essay. I think with my 3 white lights, it doesn't look too bad. At least on my computer, it doesn't look too bad. So hopefully on the stream, it doesn't look that bad. And it avoids having all this glare on the upper part. Because I have one light bulb up there, one over there, and they're both yellow lights. These are white lights, which are much better for the camera use. So, dots, dots, dots. So let me come back over here. How's camera number 1 doing? I'm gonna come right here. I guess I can zoom in a little bit. Zoom in, go back to the dots again. Okay, so go back to the dots. I'll turn back the music and let's get back to work. careful of the leaves I just painted, not to put my fist and my hand in it. I'm going to hold off right there. I come back down here. Just work on the left-hand side. I'm not going to do this side. I'm not going to do this side just to avoid catastrophes. We can do that on Monday. I'll just take a few minutes. I'm going to do the rest though. The areas where I'm sure I won't put my hand in the yellow paint. Staple right there.
Marazzore, marazzore mia, un moreccio grania marare sandore cara, a merezzore, marazzo marazzori della standorore, un moriggio ranza cara, more di assecca.
Okay, I'm not in a good position to paint here. I have to grab my stool and sit on that. Bring the camera closer. Lower it. Much better. move my stool over a little bit. Ouais. Toi aussi, ciao. Okay, let's keep going. We're almost there, almost there. Only another 5 miles to go. Oh, I'm just kidding, man. Still, we're getting there. And when I'm in a comfortable position to paint, it goes 3 times faster. Goes so fast that I don't even move the camera to follow what I'm doing. Unfortunate. Okay, let's get down to this final section. Oops.
Oh, my little baby, I love you so much. You are my darling. Between us there is a sky, but I love your eyes, and I want to drink the beauty of God inside your mouth.
All right, the final stretch. As Jacek is having fun playing music. So that's Jacek Petrowski on the guitar, Diego Attal on the violin, and Lucien Mazuco on the drum. He's also the engineer of the sound and recording of this music. There we go. So we're all done here. Get up. My lazy bones. Bring the cameras back as well. Let me get the fan out of the way. I will bring just setting up camera number 1 so we can have a shot of the lower part of this canvas. And as you can see with camera number 2, we have the entire painting. So I'll just switch over to camera number 1 right there. So we had a pretty good day. Let me just take a quick look at our heart up here. And I'm going to grab a little brush right here because I'm not sure which brush we used to put that. It looks like I could put a second coat of gold right now before taking off for the weekend. I'm not sure what brush I used. Maybe this one here. Since I have the gold paint all ready to go right here, let me just add a little half a drop of water. It's awfully thick. Maybe I'll add a real drop of water. There we go. This is, after all, for the second coat. Yeah, I'm just going to very quickly add this. There we go, like that. On Monday, we'll only have to do the outline to our heart. The orange, the red looks great. Doesn't need anything. Well, let me bring the camera here. I say it doesn't need anything, but at the same time, I could do something which I'm about to do right now, is add some details to our heart right there. So how does that look if I zoom in, come to camera number 1? And I'm just going to put a little bit of details on the heart itself, like right here, just like that. And just like that. Okay, so now I say we can finish for the weekend. I'll pull the camera back here. So there we have it. There's today's Friday. I'm happy we got all this done. So I want to get all this hair out of the way. I want to thank you for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed today's session. What was it? 1 hour and 34 minutes. I hope you'll join me on Monday as we continue towards the end. What will we do Monday? Well, we're going to put the shadowing to our yellow leaves. We are going to probably do the outline to our heart like that. That will be done. And then we will continue by putting the background to our frame. So I'm sure by Wednesday this painting will be all done, hopefully at least. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good, especially that on Wednesday I have a gallery owner who's coming to check out my artwork. So that'd be cool. So anyways, I hope you all have a blast of a weekend. I hope I'll see you on Monday. I'm going to leave you, like always, with 2 things. The first one is my schedule, pretty simple. And the other thing is by saying, ciao, mes amis.